Welcome to Two Guys in a Podcast. I'm Tom, and today, recap of the Detroit Lions getting destroyed by the Indianapolis Colts. So stand by while I get after it.
Shut up and sit down.
All right, I'm back. So, pathetic game today by the Detroit Lions. Probably an average game by the Indianapolis Colts, which proved today to be a better team. They're just a better team, bottom line. Detroit quit on this game, quit on each other. The coach quit on the sidelines, showed zero passion. I don't even know why this guy's the coach anymore. This guy should be fired. Patricia should be fired. After this game, he should be fired. He showed zero passion. He wasn't involved. He wasn't doing anything. He just stood there. He looked bored. He looked like he wanted to be somewhere else. So let's make him go somewhere else. It was pathetic. They lost 41-21, and the game wasn't even that close. It was ridiculous. The Detroit Lions offensive line couldn't stop Indianapolis' defense from getting to Stafford, who, by the way, say what you will, all the haters out there on Stafford, which is pathetic, and you're pathetic if you're a Stafford hater. 24 for 42 because he had to throw 42 freaking times in this game because they couldn't run. They ran the ball 13 times. But they couldn't do anything against the Colts defense. So let's hate on Stafford for trying to do whatever he could to win the game. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Bad interception, returned for a touchdown, but 3 TDs. And 2 drops in the end zone, by the way, with 0 effort from the receivers. Guy throws for 336 yards, 8-yard average. He's sacked 5 times for almost 40 yards. And he got hit like 7 or 8 times. So the whole thing was pathetic on the offensive line. Horrible. And the defensive line couldn't get any pressure. The one time they get pressure, they get a 45-second delayed penalty for roughing the passer or for unsportsmanlike or whatever the hell. It was ridiculous. The officials didn't help. The officials were a joke. The pass interference on Coleman was a joke. And then they picked the flag up on Rhodes at the end of the game for doing more than what Coleman did on the other play. It was just horrible. The NFL refereeing is horrible, especially, and say what you will, especially against Detroit. It's like Detroit never gets the benefit of the doubt of calls, and the other team always does, right? It was just pathetic. Stafford damn near led the team in rushing. Agnew had a run for 11 yards, otherwise Stafford had 10. Talk about pathetic. Couldn't even block. The offensive line was horrible. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Pathetic showing. This coach should be fired. Hands down, the coach should be fired. Bob Quinn, you can stick around, but show some nuts and fire your guy, because your guy is horrible, and you're wasting players' careers on this horrible guy. You've lost, 8 games in a row now? 7 games in a row now at home? But you know what? Here in a few minutes, when the news conferences come, he's going to come out there and say, "Guys worked hard. We got to coach better. We got to coach better Monday through Friday." You're an idiot. How about you play better on Sunday? It's what you're paid to do. Coach better on Sunday. It's what you're paid to do. This was a pathetic effort. Some of those players on that team quit because they saw their coach quit. So if you want to quit on the sidelines, then get fired. Resign. Do everyone a favor. Bob Quinn, if you have any integrity at all, you'll fire this guy. And you'll show that you made a mistake, and you'll own your mistake, and you'll be fired, and you'll be lucky to keep your job. That was a pathetic effort. Pathetic across the board. You got people on that. You got players on that team that worked their ass off today. You got other players that quit, that gave up. But more importantly, the coach gave up. Every time CBS, which by the way is horrible NFL coverage, horrible NFL coverage. The announcers were home team Colts people in Detroit. The game was in Detroit. CBS brings in hometown Colts guys, fans that are cheering and having fun in the booth because the Indy's winning. And that's on a network televised NFL game. Nice job, CBS. You're horrible. Maybe fit a couple more commercials in on the game too. See if you can do that. Because we all know that how shitty your network is, that you got to have extra commercials. to try to get more money out of telecasting NFL games. Pathetic. Your studio crew is pathetic. Nobody cares about Phil Simms and Boomer anymore. Oh my God. Nate Burleson's the only good one on there, and Pittsburgh's old coach. Everyone else, ridiculous. Get rid of them. So, anyway, as you can see, I'm a little upset about this game because it was terrible. Did I expect them to win? No. Did I hope they would win? Yes. Could they still win the next 3 games because they're playing dog crap teams? Yes. Is that going to keep Patricia around? Unfortunately, yes. A 500 season is going to let this guy stay around, and that's an outside shot at a 500 season. On a day that the Packers looked beatable, looked human, and now you got to go in and play Minnesota next week, you could lose that. And then you'll say afterwards, well, we got to coach up better, got to execute. You're an idiot, Patricia. You're an absolute idiot. You're in over your head. You don't know that you're in over your head. And you quit on the team today. Every time the CBS went to you on the sidelines, you were standing there, same expression on your face, doing nothing. Looking up at the clock every once in a while. Acting like, when is this shit going to be over? Oh my goodness. I can't wait to go back and eat my candy from Halloween. That was pathetic. The coaching effort was pathetic. Lots of those players. When I say players quit, a couple players quit. You could just see it. You could just see it. They didn't want to play. They're getting their asses kicked. They couldn't block anyone. They couldn't stop anyone. But when you look over on the sidelines and your coach is absent of any involvement in the game, that was ridiculous. I've been a supporter of this team and saying, come on, we can turn this around. But Patricia, you got to go, man. You're horrible. You don't get it. You might be a good Tuesday through Friday coach, but you're not a good coach when the game is on and when it matters. You got your ass saved last week because of Stafford and the offensive line and the receivers. This week, some injuries piled up. Kenny Golladay went out with a hip injury. He didn't look like he wanted to play in the first quarter, dropping 3 balls. Agnew goes out. Defense gets penalties on him. 5 sacks. The offensive line can't stop anyone. No running back. The only time that Adrian Peterson had 5 carries for 7 yards. Yeah, let's keep starting him. That's a good idea. DeAndre Swift, 6 carries for 1 yard. Yeah, let's. No, we abandon the run and we tell Stafford to throw it. So the guy piles up stats, 336 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Again, the 1 interception was a bad interception, a pick 6. But he offset it with 3 other touchdowns and had 2 passes dropped in the end zone. Just a horrible, horrible effort. And ultimately, you can't fire all the players. There's people out there preaching about trade Stafford and give me a freaking break. Stafford is a franchise quarterback, the best franchise quarterback Detroit's ever had. Ever had. And everyone's out there like, let's get rid of him. He's the reason we lose. Is he the reason we lost today? Is Matthew Stafford really the reason we lost today? I would say absolutely not. The reason we lost today is because the offensive defensive line and the defensive backfield, the whole defense, sucked. Did not play an NFL caliber game. You played Atlanta and you played Jacksonville the last 2 games and your heads got big. You started out good. The defensive line, we started out stopping the run. And then we just let 56-year-old Phillip Rivers throw for 1 billion yards and touchdowns all over the field. Every critical play on 3rd down, guess what? There's Rivers, freaking weird-ass mechanic Rivers throwing this ball for a 1st down. Guess what defenders are around? None, because they're playing a zone. They can't stay with anybody. There's no speed on this defense. I don't know how many times the linebackers totally blew coverage and weren't even covering anyone. And all Phillip Rivers had to do was flip the ball 5 yards. Whoop, there goes a 15-yard run from a receiver on a 5-yard little out route. Because the linebacker's in the middle of the field. Pathetic. Just horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible day. Phillip Rivers threw for 262. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked twice for 15 yards. Oh, but one of them there was a 15-yard penalty on. Just a terrible effort. They didn't look prepared. Not like they block a punt and they score to start the game. Game looked promising in the first few minutes. And then all it took was the Colts to show a little moxie, and Detroit ran like little girls, ran away. And I don't mean to disparage against little girls, but Jesus, Detroit. Super Old Man Rivers stood up to one of your big defensive linemen, and you guys got pathetic, and then all you let them do was get excited. In your home stadium, by your home stadium, and you can't even play. Don't give me this shit there's no crowd to feed off of. You're adults. You're professionals. Go out there and play. And you got your ass handed to you today by a Colts team that is not as good as their record says. I don't care what CBS says. Just totally pathetic effort. 41-21, and it was more like 48-7 is what it felt like. Terrible. Detroit's 3-4 now at home, or on the season. 0-3 at home. And oh, by the way, you've lost 7 in a row at home. 7 in a row at home. And Patricia's still the coach. Today they were going for their first 3-game win streak since Patricia's been coach. And he's still the coach. Yeah. Good move, Bob Quinn. Let's stick with it. It's really working. We got a winning formula here. Let's waste another year of Stafford. Let's waste another year. Oh, by the way, let's not pay Kenny Golladay. Why haven't you signed him long term? Today you saw how important he was when he went out with a hip injury. And it's only because you're throwing the ball to him and he's getting destroyed on every catch. He's got to make circus catches, jumping up 7 feet in the air, only to come down and land on his hips. And oh yeah, his hip hurts. Absolutely pathetic. Unbelievable. But just another day in the NFL for the Lions, right? Refs sucked. Announcers sucked. Team sucked. Good Sunday. Way to go. Fire Patricia. Bob Quinn, you should almost be fired. But if you want to save face, admit you were wrong, fire Patricia. Get a coach in here that can talk to these players and get these players focused on football and get these players focused on execution. The team played hard. You can tell they were playing hard. But they look to the sidelines and see their coach standing there like a freaking mummy. Halloween was yesterday, dude. How about today you act like an NFL coach? I'm out.